up against EVOS. Definitely having it. Going back into this one, looking on form, Omo. This
Yes,
is the
sir.
team we wanted to see.
And you know why you should be getting your coffee, everybody? Because the series is not over yet. Look at the draft. Listen to what our amazing analyst pointed out. EVOS seemed like they just got big brained by Divine. I really like the draft here from Divine. Swapping to blue side. Get rid of the Fiora pick. Now, Tan X, you are very happy with this matchup. I would say more than happy with this side of the matchup, being the stable side with the Darius, knowing you can come into the team fight and allow your teammates to do the bulk of the heavy lifting. If Divine do not manage to pull out a win here with this, I would say basically god comp for them, then I would say they're really out of options and they deserve to drop to the lower bracket to reassess things. I really like the drop from Divine. It's gonna allow Len to excel, and I love it when Coyote's on picks that can enable his teammates.
No Lee Sin, no problem. Give Len Kha'Zix. Instead, he's still gonna make things happen. And I think, like Rafa mentioned, he's one of those junglers that we were looking towards.
Exactly.
In this entire competition, he's been aggressive. He's been a playmaker. In the previous 2 matches, hasn't quite been on form. Maybe this time around, things have switched around. We're starting to see some aggression come across. This time, we don't see the Zyra Khan. Instead, we see the Gragas come across instead.
A bit of an ambitious gank attempt here, but Coyote, he just dodges out on the charm, and he's going to be A-okay. And yeah, like you mentioned, right, I don't think he's going to be worried at all, boy. But you know who should be worried? Tanex is about to get dived, and this is what we love to see from G4. Push and roam. Push and roam. What are we seeing right now?
Push and roam, here we have it. EVOS Esports the first to make a move in the top side. Tanex faces off against a double ignite. Still drops.
Did you notice what G4 did? He pulled turret aggro immediately with an ignite. He says, I'm gonna reset right now, right? My team needs a tempo, they need to shove the wave, Veldus needs to grab camps, I need to reset. So I'm gonna come in, I'm not gonna even AA him, I'm gonna drop ignite, get turret aggro, walk to the edge. I do not need to throw a single spell. I just need to tank the 2 turret hits for my teammates, and he lets them pick up the kills there. That is, you know, that is the veteran. That is what an experienced players knows how to do. It's really amazing. I'm quite blown away. It's such a subtle thing, but G4 showing his presence of mind. As Divine, they want to trade on the bot side.
But it's not a great trade for them to take because Coyote's dropping down low.
It is.
The rest of Divine Esports are here as the backup, trying to give some safety, but Veldus walks in, looks to get a catch back on the Coyote. Unfortunately, the Lee Sin will be the first to fall as he jumps back in, but a charm comes across and concussive blows the stun onto Quay. Might take down the Gragas, but he flashes away the safety.
Gets out of dodge, and Divine, they trade things back around. Veldus, he's a bit of an angry man right now. He was smashing, stomping in the last game. I think it might have gone to his head a little bit there. Goes in too aggressively to try to find Coyote, misses the Q and still tries to chase it. That allows them to turn around on him. And when we look at the mid jungle combos right now on both of these teams, Demonism, what does it tell you? It's a one-shot waiting to happen. Galio's gonna CC you, Kha'Zix is gonna ISO one-shot you, Ari's gonna charm you, Lee Sin's gonna Q, kick, Q, gonna one-shot you. These combos are so dangerous to be playing around, and you really have to be so careful if you want to play with fire.
And we've seen what happens right around this mark as well, Omo. Teams start to get some control around the 2 neutral objectives. The winner of the fight around the Dragon Pit gets Dragon, gets the first turret, and then the loser is relegated to grabbing the Rift Turret and finding the trade on the other side of the map.
And you know what's crazy to me? Throughout the entire group stages, we kind of determined that Rift Herald was the better first objective. I think both of these teams, they are turning around. They're going on the other page, just saying, you know what? We've kind of figured it out. If you guys go for Rift Herald, during that timing window, we're able to grab more on the other side of the map. And this comes back to both of these teams wanting to contest Dragon. I would like to see an adaptation where if you don't set up in time, woof, the damage from the Cocky. Yeah, but if you don't set up in time, you rush Herald and you try to trade for 2 or more if they go for Dragon.
Absolutely, and EVOS Esports, like you mentioned, the first to make the moves towards the Dragon seems like Divine, and not gonna heed your advice here, Omo. They're actually gonna play towards the Dragon side as well, try and contest this directly, while a little bit far away. You can see Hope 1 had to make a full recall, full reset to come back in time.
And here we go, EVOS, they are in position now. We talked about how in the last couple of games, the pick comps was in favor of Divine. This time around, the pick tools, they are all in the pocket of EVOS. You're gonna walk into a Charm, you're gonna walk into a Winter's Bite, and Lee Sin's gonna be kicking you so hard.
Gonna take down Rich though. Glacier Fisher comes across. That's the package,
Nice.
the power of the Corki unleashed. And Divine
they
Esports,
want to turn it.
Coyote might jump in. He might be able to take down Rich as Len comes in for the cleanup.
Hits the
But like
charm.
you mentioned, the charms are too powerful for him to deal with. Flash roll from G4 onto the Kazakhs, taking down the jungler. Coyote flashes away back to his turret.
coming.
And
They're
EVOS
gonna dive this.
Esports get control as Tipper comes in with the flank with the dominance
love this.
on charge. Watch out, because this is the EVOS Esports we were looking for.
This is the mid-jungle synergy. This is the mid-top synergy. They're diving in.
And the taunt comes across, but it won't save them. Tipper still
Oh,
looking to
no!
take down a second. Back on the Hope, one flash roll from Valdez, one last auto tech takes down the AD carry.
They botched
but
it!
double kill comes across from Quay.
They botched the dive, and it comes down to Coyote. What did I say? I love it when he's on the enablers. I love it when he sets his teammates up for success. Comes in, multi-man taunt, stops the dive, and this is Divine. They turn things around. They get the kills. 3 for 2. They get the Dragon 2K gold lead. Divine Esports. This might be the beginning of something here. I don't want to say anything and curse it, Grandin, but you know what I'm thinking.
Well, Omo, I love it when you give me these rhetorical questions because I truly cannot answer them. So thank you once again for that. Again, now it looks like EVOS Esports is giving a rhetorical question to EVOS. Says, can you take us down? And the winner of that fight grabs the dragon. And now it's back over to EVOS to maybe try and
Look
go
at
for the
this.
Rift
Look
Tower.
at
But
this.
look at the map state right
Look
now.
at Coyote. Keep in mind, this is a 2v4 here. He started off Chunks, Ketsutan, and G4 to
Oh
a
my
sliver of
goodness.
health. And it comes in, taunts Tipper is the big one. So that Tipper can't get the optimal combo down. And he forces them to really just take such a bad trade. It starts with Coyote chunking them out. It ends with Coyote crowd controlling them. And I love it when this man takes charge.
And when we've talked about the just before, he's mentioned it's so easy to play a Kazakhs that's ahead. They now
Yeah.
have the Rift Herald. He has this Dust Blade. It's a great spot for them to be in. A different place
Look
from
at
what we've seen the past 2 games.
That's my favorite part of Kaiser's entire kit. Just stopping recalls.
Oh my goodness. You're one of those people, Omo.
It's actually crazy how big the impact is if you delay someone's tempo. Like, I know everyone's always like memeing about it, but it's actually so impactful if you stop it at the right times. And this is one of those right
Divine
times.
Esports pulls the Rift Herald early. The Dragon's Rage comes across by onto
Ambitious?
Quay. Not the best target it could have possibly gone onto. The Charm comes onto the Dragons as well. Unfortunately, that's where
Oh,
Stop
no.
Ton X comes in. Bit of a disconnect, but either way, Divine Esports find the Herald charge in the mid lane.
Yeah, I don't think this is quite matching up to the Gragas that we saw from Rich. That man was on fire, constantly knocking them into his turret every single time. But as a Gragas connoisseur, I think Rich, he knows the counters, he knows the answers as well. Braum is a decent answer in lane because he can never body slam into you. And you know what he does outside of lane? In the team fights, if you ever try to fish with a cask, he is there, stand behind Braum. He's gonna block your cask, he's gonna keep his teammates safe, and that's exactly what Rich has been doing this game.
I feel like at this point we need to create an entire list of things almost asked Grandin, and I just don't ever answer them,
we
right?
need to
It's like a
make
questionnaire.
list because at the end of the whole C's champs,
I get quiz?
I'm gonna give you a quiz, yeah.
Oh no,
If you can't
that
answer the
sounds
quiz, I'm
terrible.
gonna be very disappointed, Gaminism.
Well, EVOS Esports are now starting to have to answer Divine Esports' aggression. They're getting some control around the map. And we discussed in the first game, Divine Esports had to identify the 1-3-1 win conditions. What's changed here? What
What's their
is
win
game 3
condition
looking
now?
like for Divine?
Well,
Absolutely.
Divine, this time it's much easier. You have a good 5-5 team comp. You have the ability to make picks in jungle, make picks in side lane. You do want to play side lanes, but your goal is not to break turrets. Your goal is to find the vulnerable person who comes to catch the side lane wave, and suddenly Kha'Zix is on him, Galio's on him, Kaiser's flying in. That's what you want to do here with Divine's team comp. It's a lot easier to play. It requires much less finesse, and I think they are in a much better spot this game. Well, I say that, but they are a bit down in gold, but still better than where they were in the last game.
Most of the goal difference is on Tipper right now. He's become a very powerful Renekton, but
Yep.
you can see it from a lot of these fights. Tipper has had a tough time getting into them. Hopefully the Rocket
Just for
Belt
now.
will mitigate some of that issue, but it does seem like EVOS is facing against a difficult composition to really dive into with the amount of crowd control that they're facing.
That's definitely true. It's never going to be easy to dive into this sort of team composition, but what you want to keep in mind is why Renekton answers Divine's team composition so well. Renekton as a champion is more than happy to take 1v2s. I think if you ask any Baron laner, if they come and gank you, what champion do you want to be playing? And they're gonna say Renekton. You have the potential to get out, you have the potential to even try to turn things around with massive amounts of burst, sustain, just just overall damage. But we're gonna have to hold that thought here because we're gonna set up once again. It's Dragon time.
Watch out for G4. He's coming in from the other side. Might be able to flank off Divine Esports. They're starting off the Dragon first. They have land, so it should go down quickly. Dragon's gonna go over to Divine Esports. If EVOS Esports don't do anything, there we have it. But they go in anyway. Coyote gets the jump back onto the Renekton. Tipper is down. The flash won't save him. Len tries to jump back in. Unfortunately, he gets kicked away by the Dragon's rage. But Divine Esports find the pick off.
Gamenism, this is a Baron angle. If they break this turret, oh, it's so good by Rich though. He stuns all of them.
Beautiful Glacial Fissure blocks Divine, and now they can't go for the Baron. It's close though. Look at what's happening here.
They want to get the top lane turret. They want to get the mid lane turret. They don't need to flip the game. I might have been a bit too presumptuous. I don't know, presumptuous. It's assuming they might have gone for the Baron, but they are making it safe. They are making sure they get the map open a little bit, get the outer turrets down in the top and mid lane, and when you go for the Baron, they have very little ways to stop you. They have no safety to check you. And this is exactly what Divine are doing. If this map opens up, it's gonna be huge for Divine because their team composition relies on making picks with this Kha'Zix.
EVOS Esports do recognize that the Baron isn't started up, but it's going to be a little bit late on the return back to the Baron lane to try to block these waves from crashing in. Divine get to make a full reset, and that's huge. These windows, these timings. I mean, you talked about the Kai'Sa being able to stop your recalls. Well, Divine managed to recall and come back looking stronger. Now 2 items completed for Len.
A little bit of a gold lead here for Divine, and like you mentioned, right, most of the gold on EVOS is in the pockets of Tipper. Some of it is in Katsutan, and I think that he's gonna be a pretty happy Cocky this game. When we talk about why Cocky suffers in the meta, why is that so? Because he needs to run into long range champions, and they're just gonna poke him out before he can even DPS. This time around, they want to come into him. They're all close ranged. If he doesn't get chain CC'd here, Katsutan might be the pop-off condition for the side of EVOS. Because if you dive into Renekton, you dive into Cocky, their DPS might just end you.
We've also talked a little bit about the criticisms for Cocky in a lot of these games. I mean, do you feel like this is going to change for them? Well, Quay might be looking to try and jump in. Len's coming in right now to get the body stand knocked back onto Rich, but is on the bronze, so difficult to take him down. Divine Esports just going to take that and get out. Tipper now rotating over to 5 versus 5 towards the jungle side. If EVOS Esports look to commit for this, Len jumps back on, forces the Spirit Rush away from the RE. G4 won't have that ultimate.
Yeah, G4, no ultimate means he's not feeling safe to wave clear. Rich is low, G4's about half. They lose the mid lane turret. Top lane turret's already down. Look at where Divine are going on the map. This could be them pulling the trigger right now. They do it so fast. Kai'Sa Kha'Zix.
You have Len, you have hope. It's just so fast to take down the Baron. Divine Esports looking for this. EVO's taking so long to rotate over, but they are moving in time. Quay is gonna zone them out, but he cannot block. He's jumping over the wall.
This could be bad.
Sonic Wave might be looking to try and jump onto this. It's just down to 1,000.
No, he got it!
Across, he flashes in for the steal. EVOS Esports take away the Baron, and now it's a return fight. Coyote tries to come back in. Tipper now joins in. Tarnax has to walk away, backs off away from the Renekton.
Veldus, he pulled out a miracle. I have nothing else I can say. There is no universe in which he should have gotten into the Baron pit. Quay was zoning, but G4 made space. He pushed the Gragas away, and there was a bit of a desync. That was what caused Divine the Baron. Look at this right now, okay? When Quay goes to stop Veldus, this is your timing window. You need to call. Spike it right now. But they stalled. They didn't recognize the timing. They weren't on the same page, and that gives Veldus the time, the space, the kick, the flash, the smite. He gets the Baron, and EVOS, all of a sudden, they're back in it.
Absolute insanity here, Omo. And now the Dragon's coming up as well. They have lane control, they have better presence, and where Tipper was starting to lose some of his presence is now entirely back online. EVOS are gonna get control again.
The problem that we saw in the last couple of fights from Tipper was that he was too squishy. He's not gonna be in the side lane.
They're looking for Tarnax now, trying to take down the Darius early before the Dragon comes available. Len's gonna be right there, blocking off EVOS Esports.
This should
go on to the Dragon first.
This should be the Dragon for EVOS. I don't think Divine can contest this. You know, I say that, but they love to take these fights though. So they might still want to come back in for it.
But what this does mean is going to be Elder Inferno, the next one on the board. So EVOS definitely want to take this, because if they don't, it's going to be so much more difficult to fight this.
I'm actually a little bit curious about why EVOS are giving this. Okay, they're calling to rush from it here. They recognize Dragon is not our wing.
Tarnax has managed to recall and reset in time. Quay's over by the side, but they're not willing to pull the trigger. They aren't willing to jump in just yet, and so it's so difficult for them to find more. Quay's just zoning them all away.
And they all just have to back off. Like you mentioned, Queer zoned them all away, kept them at bay, didn't let them touch the turrets because the threat of the engage from the Kazakhs, from the Galio, it's just too big. And EVOS, I like the call. They called to give it, rush with Baron, but they weren't able to find anything. And now Divine, they withstood the onslaught. There's no longer a single Baron buff left on the side of EVOS. It's timed out. Now Divine, I think they're back in the driver's seat. Like you mentioned, Elder Inferno, 3 dragons in their pocket. Divine, if this game goes on for another 5 minutes, they pick up the dragon, they pick up the Baron. Barring some other miracle stills from Valdez, I don't think they have a way into this one.
Let's see if they can make something happen. I mean, they still have a pretty good entry back into the game. The goal difference isn't all that substantial, but we are seeing Hopeland come online as this Kai'Sa. We know what happens when these AD carries get so fed in the late game. It's something for them to watch out for, and well, Corki just doesn't match up to the level of power once we go into the late game.
Well, there are two sides to the coin, right? Corki can definitely do a lot of damage as well, but he is much harder to, get away from these team fights from. He has the Valkyrie, and that's gonna be his main escape tool. But Kai'Sa is just so slippery in these team fights. She has the killer instinct, she has the ability to run faster, go invisible. She really does it all. It's like Spider-Man going up against, I don't know, what do you call Corki? A Yordle in a plane. He can't really do much when you get on top of him. The problem is he's itemizing very, very well here. He has the Megatron cloak, so he's not gonna get poked out by Coyote, and he has the Zhonya's, so he's not gonna get one-shot by Lan and Coyote as well.
I love that analogy. Omo, can I get more analogies from you?
It's Spider-Man against a Yordle in a helicopter. He really can't do anything. The gap is just too big.
We have to watch out for this. Valdez gonna dash in, and the Fight Esports, they were unsure, well, what happened there? Why would you want to jump in there?
No!
Way's gonna come in, misses out the explosive catch, gonna be difficult. Apprehend misses as well. The Gallery gonna come in, join into the fight to get a 3-man knockup over to the back. EVOS Esport having a difficult time taking down Coyote, but difficult will not mean impossible because they still find the Galileo, take him down and jumping onto Len instead. And Divine have lost the massive fight right as Baron was up.
And they make a mistake on the engage. Quay, he tries to predict the jump from the Braum, but he doesn't quite get the timing. I love what we're seeing from EVOS. They recognize they need only 2 members to do this Baron, so they're making sure that no one can enter the river. G4, Rich, they are all zoning on this, but HP bars are so low. GA popped.
Way walking over, they pop the Guardian Angel from Valdez, the flash away from Rich to get back to the pit, trying to take down the Corki first. But oh my goodness, Lan jumps into 4. He takes down Katzin, but is that gonna be enough?
It's enough. They don't need to win the fight, they just need to stop the Baron, and they did exactly that. It's a bit unfortunate that they were even in this situation to begin with. It started off with a poorly set up team fight. Hope he got jumped on as well. This is exactly what happens, right? Spider-Man cannot escape when Renekton flashes on you and Empower stuns you. There's nothing much you can really do in that situation. Whether your name is Hope One, whether your name is Peter Parker, it won't really happen. But the problem is right now, when we look at the Elder Inferno spot, I don't think flashes are gonna be up. Hope, he still has his flash, he still has his killer instinct. So this is his opportunity to pop off. 20 seconds on the Elder.
Can we just get an Omo x Marvel crossover?
Can
you just create the entire storyline for us? Seeing some incredible things from you here, Omo. EVOS Esports now, they have to watch out for this Elder Inferno. I mean, this is the dragon that is going to define Divine Esports win condition because EVOS has given 3 dragons away. This is all so much more critical for them to be successful.
This is huge. If they get this dragon, this is basically a win in the bags for EVOS. I know I say basically a win, but we've seen them throw these games before, so we have to be very careful about how we approach this one. I'm not sure if package is available for Katsatan. I don't think he has that on him. I'm trying to deduce that from what we see of Corki. Don't believe he has package, so he needs to be a bit more careful right now. He does have flash though. Oh no,
still walking on his feet. They're jumping onto Quay first. Coyote's gonna body block, stop Rich from getting on them. But a lot of damage onto the dragons right away.
He has the base. That's not a good situation to be in.
They're moving on to the mid lane instead. Maybe round 2, round 3, something for EVOS Esports to finally take that one down. But it's difficult for them. They haven't been able to break open these turrets.
Yo, the rocket damages is starting to add up. The damage from Katsatan as he lobs these big ones on the head of Divine Esports, it's starting to be scary. And river control now for EVOS. You have to be careful of this.
Len has to jump away.
Oh, here we go.
Comes in with the explosive.
No
cast,
safeguard.
blocks away and pushes Veldus away. He doesn't have the guard.
He got the reset.
Will go down. It's Tanex
Tan
that
got the
comes in
reset.
with the reset. Coyote jumps to the back line. They try to get the concussive
No.
blows to stun up. The Darius taking one down. Tipper now joins back in. Koi gonna face off against Katsatan. Loses
Look at
love. HP, the
Katsatan.
process bomb comes across. He goes golden and still has damage. He still has that E going off,
Oh my
firing back.
goodness.
And EVOS Esports have taken down two.
That was a flawless team fight from Katsatan. We're gonna need to see a replay of that one because that man showed why if you get to the late game with Koki, he is still one of the hyper carries. Nice flash
Oh,
out.
flashing in with the charm. They get Len, but will be able to jump away instead.
man.
Divine Esports barely get out.
And all of that just for a tier 1 turret. Now pay attention to Katsatan and pay attention to Tanex. The fight starts, they get the reset on the Lee Sin. Now that's huge. Now Tanex, he made a misplay here. He flashed in the wrong direction. But look at Katsatan, he's chucking out damage. He's getting multi-man rockets, multi-man phosphorus bombs. And this is the key right now. Look at how he uses the Janius. He runs in, uses all his spells, Janius in front of tree members while his E is still ticking on them. And he just blows up the Vine. We need to look at his damage numbers at the end of this one, Gaminism.
Absolutely. I mean, the damage numbers surely must be off the charts at this point.
For
EVOS Esports, I mean, they're walking back towards the Dragon now because Divine tried to start it up, but was zoned away. Well, things are becoming much more tense here. EVOS one step away. They just need one more game to confirm their run in the upper bracket as Divine. They don't want to fall so
Here we
early
go.
on. Here we have it. The engage coming through from Quay. They might be able to find the damage to maybe take this one down, but it's difficult. Glacier Fisher comes across.
The kick.
Coyote coming in with a massive ultimate.
one.
It's the hero's entrance, but Len will not be able to find much more in this process. Veldus, his Guardian Angel is going to be procced. They finally take down the Renekton, and EVOS
That's two.
Esports forced to back off.
EVOS forced to back off, and this means that the Elder Infernal Dragon is in the sights of Divine. Lan is high health. Hope is a bit low, but he has the fruits. He has the GA. I don't know what EVOS want to do right now. Do they want to try to race? Because I don't think you win out on that.
They don't know what they want to do either. Look at this. Elder Inferno
They can't
dropping
decide, it's
quickly.
gone.
It's down to 5,000. It's going to be gone so quickly. Valdez trying to walk back in, but he's on
Look
top
at
of the
Quay.
board. He has no idea what direction he has to go in from. They might be able to take down Quay. They might be able to take down Tanex. The answer is neither will fall.
No.
As Len is chasing after the kill. It goes over the Hope one instead. Coyote comes into the two-man taunt. Puts the brakes
Hope.
onto G4 with the flash forward coming through for Hope one. The late game Kaiser. The insurance plan for Divine Esports is massive. It's a quadra kill for Hope.
And do you believe, Gaminism? Divine, they faltered at several windows, but they find the win at the end of this one. A clean ace, not losing a single member. EVOS Esports, they are a match point, but could this be the beginning of something here?
Too late for Tipper to get anything done, so they go on to the next. It's the return 2-1. Back for Divine.
Now, I don't want to say any specific...